Hello everyone, it's Matt here and welcome to an update for the warehouse project. Obviously this has been a project which has kind of been running in the quiet for a lot of the past several months, but I'm pleased to announce that there's actually been quite a lot of progress and this video is actually going to show it off. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that the warehouse is no longer on a 48 by 48 large grey base plate, which was from the Creator or Basic line. It's now on a 32 by 32 in blue. The reason for that being is that the big 48 by 48 wouldn't fit in the 64 litre really useful boxes I've got to transport models around, and I've got several of those in preparation primarily to carry the warehouse, and they didn't fit the warehouse. So the easiest thing to do, instead of trying to cut the grey base plates down a couple of studs to actually fit them in, is actually just to change them to the 32 by 32, and they fit in the boxes a lot more better now. So basically the warehouse is now going to be on 3, possibly 3.5 base plates of red at the far end, green in the middle, and then blue at the end. So this is the blue one, the green has yet to be built, and then we've got the red at the far end. The warehouse, and I'll also elevate it at this point because this is a big reveal as well. The warehouse is actually now 3 stories high as well. So we've actually got an increase in height, and the reason for that being is that with this lettering on the side, we're pretty much up to the height of another floor anyway. So we might as well just add it on. It looks more imposing. It's still fixing the box because the model's now on the side. So I've got no issue with length or height in this case, because obviously it's length when it's like that, but at height it's not an issue. So, you know, adding that 3rd floor doesn't really impact me in terms of transporting it, which is really the big consideration. We changed it to the 32 by 32. So I can gain extra height in it, I can pack in more detail, and can do a lot of other bits and pieces. So not only is it shrunk in terms of footprint as a base plate, it's increased in height, it's increased in detail, and I've done a lot of rework to it. So you also may notice that it's now on a proper sort of scenic base as well. So I'll actually pull the track away to reveal, you know, the platform isn't a full platform because there's some of it on this section as well, but the reason being is that we can now modularize it, as you can with the modular buildings from the Creator Expert line. And you've got these Technic 1x4 bricks which can accept the friction pins, the track sections here, and I'm not sure how well it'll show up on here, but these also have them as well. So there's 2. These are 4 studs in from the end, so these actually match the warehouse Technic stud spacing. So that gives a lot of modularity as well. So even though this bit has got the platform on it, so you connect it to there, and this bit's actually the end module. So if I tilt this back down again, so this is the end module, so this is the end of the hard standing area. I can actually take off this base plate here and put it at the other end of the warehouse, and suddenly the approach is from the opposite end of the warehouse. I've got no issues. I'm going to actually change the edge of this. So the edge of this is now multicoloured, so you've got like red, green, blue, and a bit of pink. This is actually going to change to match this with the dark bluish grey and the black. So the blacks are going to represent like a drain or something. So it just adds a bit of feature. I know it's a functional feature, but if it's black and the rest of it is dark grey, it actually stands out a bit more, makes it look like it's there for a reason. So changing all this to grey is a priority. And obviously then it's a scenic aspect as well, so it's actually a scenic thing to actually have it in that colour. Now the warehouse itself is not finished, and neither of these track pieces. You can obviously see that this is missing a gap there. We're missing the lining tiles, so I'll move the reefer out of the way now properly. So you can sort of see that there's all this gap here, which should be matching these with these 1x2 plate tiles rather. The opposite side is still the same, it's missing those. This bit's the only bit that's actually complete in that sort of sense. Some of these tiles are not fully down because I'm being lazy. But essentially this is how it's going to look for the hard standing area. A central column, if you like, or row going down between the tracks of dark bluish grey using these 8x16 tiles. So obviously this is the end, but obviously need to create a few more of these. And then everything else is going to be this light bluish grey. So these are 1x2 tiles for the interlining, and then 2x2s for everything else. So between the track is 2x2s. The actual hard standing outside the warehouse is 1x2s, except where it won't fit, say, around the building. You know, and it just adds a bit of detail as well. This end, or what I will want to do for one end, is actually to have like a roadway access. So I'll possibly do this one with some yellow to indicate that this is the end of the hard standing area. So you should possibly keep it clear so that vehicles can move around as well, because the basic theory is that when this warehouse eventually extends fully, and I say extend because obviously it's got to go back that way, and I've got plans to build a dock section with this as a main feature, is that when I expand it to the all 9-volt track, I can then also extend the hard standing out here if I wanted to. So I can actually bring this out bigger, so I can have this as like a cargo loading area or freight loading area away from the main warehouse. So maybe this would be for flat cars or gondolas maybe. So they don't need the covered storage of the warehouse, but they still need to be in close proximity because maybe the office is there, or maybe this is where the main cargo area is for the railroad, in this case the New Haven. So it just adds a little bit of extra detail and functionality. And the modularity means that if I wanted to, I could add another blank base plate here, which is just like this tiled hard standing, then add another section which is just for track, so it can have like a 32x32 here for moving vehicles and cargo, then have another track. Being a modular system as well, with the 4 studs from the edge, I can actually change the base plates if I need to for other ones. So maybe I can change it to, I don't know, a 16x32 base plate and things like that. I can actually change around a lot of what I can do with the system because I've actually shrunk the system. Or shrunk the footprints of the warehouse, if you like. The warehouse itself has not had too much of a change, so I'll get these out of the way now, just to show you the backside. Now, obviously, this is not a complete interior, as you can see. The floor's missing, and I'm using it for storage at the moment. So take that down and take this off. You can sort of see that we've got a temporary floor in. One of the main issues with redoing the warehouse is that we've got this bit of an awful gap here, which is just a single stud. So what's going to happen is I'm going to retake some of these floor pieces off on this end, because this is the only end with it, and just fill in that gap with 1x10, 1x12, 1x8, etc. Plates, rather, just to pack it out and finish it off. The floors above, I'm going to start using the tan to pack this out. So obviously it's going to have a tan interior anyway. But I can then use the tan panel pieces for between the windows, and then tan bricks for the outside and that sort of stuff. And then this can all be built up and integrated into each other. I've got an idea of how I'm going to do the ends. So basically, where the ends are, there's going to be a 1x4 plate going out from the mesh every so often, and then I can actually pack out the rest of it with 1x1 and 1x2 plates in tan. To create the interior wall finish, and then that can just run the way up here and sort of like stitch in the inside wall to the outside wall. At a select few points, there's actually 1x2s on the first and second floor jutting out into the interior wall. So we've got some above this window frame, like you've got here. You've got one up here at the top on the top floor, another one here on the top floor, you've got another one over there, another one over there, and that's just to anchor it in and help keep it tighter. And just make it a bit more sturdy and secure. Once I've finished decided how I'm going to do the roof and the top, again I can stitch it in up here at the top, maybe with some 2x2 plates in dark red or something like that, and I can actually blend it in together so that the interior facade and the exterior facade are joined together, and really creates this nice strong structure. So I don't have to deal with anything like that. The way the floors are being supported is obviously they're going to be tied into the interior wall. So this is actually roughly where it's going to be in the final model. So it actually will tie into the interior wall. So again, that creates a bit of structural stability for the floor, in addition to in addition to the wall as well, because you've actually now anchoring it into lots of other things. The support columns as well, I'm going to use 2x2 columns, so they're going to have a black base, so possibly 2x2 bricks in black, and then the rest is going to be a combination of these 1x2x5 column bricks, just to pack out the column, and then the top's going to be another selection of 2x2 bricks, and then there's going to be a mixture of plates and bricks to do some cross beams underneath the floor, not only to add a bit of structural integrity to it, but also to be able to join up a lot of the plates that form the interior, just so it adds a bit of extra strength from that aspect and things like that. Overall, there's been quite a lot of progress for the warehouse. Obviously this is the first of 3, possibly 4 different base plates, so obviously I've still got a lot of work to do. Obviously there's now the hard standing as well, which is separate, which again I've got to do. So there's been some strides in the project. If you want to say strides, I'll probably be closer to saying it's baby steps. But you know, there's progress. It's slow, but you know, this is been a massive change. This was about, just to do this warehouse section like this took about an hour to 2 hours of rebuilding work to get it onto this 32x32, and I've added at least another hour to 2 hours since then, just redoing the hard standing on the outside, tweaking a few bits and pieces, you know, and just bringing it up to that new level. So that's it for the warehouse update. Obviously it's a lot different to when everyone last viewed it, but you know, there's great progress being made. You know, and hopefully I can get the next couple of pieces done over the next few months, now that the other projects I've got on the list are close to completion, if not almost at completion. So, you know, it's great that, you know, I can actually concentrate on something like the warehouse. So that's it for this update, and you'll be seeing more of this on Instagram, you know, as the days and weeks progress and I actually get closer to finishing the module. So that's it for this update, and I'll see you in another video coming up real soon. So that's it for now, and see you later.